ahead and sit back down. And while you're sitting, put your hands together for Richard Brooke, the author of The 4-Year Career. Great speaker, great man. You guys ready for lunch? Anybody got a pee? Now's your chance. Any note takers in here? All right. Anybody want to get out of their comfort zone? All right. So those of you that are note takers, take that thing you got, that binder, that booklet, that whatever it is, and take your pen and put it under your chair. That's right. Hey, this is just an exercise in expanding your comfort zone. Humor me. Don't take any notes. Just humor me. Put it under your chair. No notes. Why no notes? Because at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you the PowerPoint, and I'm going to give you all of my notes. Okay? Which will include probably 90% of stuff I didn't even say from the stage. So, and then here's the other reason why no notes, which I know will just fly in the face of everything you've ever heard from intelligent people. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying. But every time you change your focus, Gary, to write down what I just said, you miss what I'm about to say. Just a thought. So what I'm going to do for the next 35, 40 minutes is talk real fast so you wouldn't be able to take notes anyway. And we're going to get you some training. You want some training? Want some nuggets? Okay, here we go. So first of all, Gary and Mary, oils in every home. You got that vision? Do you know how many homes there are in the world? I don't either, but so I'm going to guess 7.7 billion people in the world. I'm going to guess it's about 3 million homes. That makes sense? 3 billion homes. About 3 billion homes, right? So if everybody has 10 customers, if all of us have 10 customers that aren't in the system, and there's 3 billion homes in the world, I know I'm a math freak and most of you aren't, but you can just like think about this. Maybe there are some math freaks out there. If there's 3 billion homes we need to get to, and everybody's got 10 customers, how many of us do we need? A lot. Actually, the answer is 300 million of us. 300 million. How many of us are there? Well, there might be 6 million that ever in the last 25 years found their way into that computer. But how many of us are there really? Maybe a million and a half. So that's the number I want you to stick in your head. There's about 1.5 million of us that have any idea at all what we're in. And we need how many of us? 300 million. So what do we need to do? Well, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it recruiting. You can call it sharing. You can call it group hugs. I don't care what you call it. But we need to grow our teams. So just what I want you to be present to, what I'm going to talk about a little bit is, I'm going to talk about network marketing, and I'm going to talk about how to take advantage of network marketing, and I'm going to talk about some things that I've learned from the best of the best in this room and the rooms of Young Living all around the world. So first of all, Gary and Mary, as you heard Mary's story, they chose network marketing for a reason. I was fascinated to hear Mary's story. I'd never heard that part before about her coaching Gary to, hey, let's go beyond just what you're doing and let's like really get into network marketing. And why is that? Because network marketing as a business model is distinct from all other business models and all other direct selling models by this one rule. And the rule is that everyone gets to build a sales team from day one. Everyone. Think about that. Oh, thank you very much. It's one of my favorite quotes. Everyone gets to build a sales team from day one. Everyone. That's an exercise in high self-esteem when you can be the only one applauding, right? And then you actually keep it up, right? There's this threshold where you be like, oh, I've now clapped 8 times and nobody's joining me. Do I continue? Do I cave to peer group pressure or do I lead? I don't know. Interesting decision, right? So by virtue of everybody gets to build a sales team from day one, everyone, what that ushers into the growth model of network marketing is a viral or exponential growth of the sales organization. So a theme throughout my presentation this afternoon is I want you to start thinking of Young Living not as this big corporation with all these farms and the huge home office and the huge warehouse and all this stuff. But I want you to pay attention to Mary's presentation, and I want you to start visualizing Young Living as nothing more than Gary and Mary's personal sales organization. Think about it. So when Young Living gets founded, when it's brand new, what do Gary and Mary have to do if they want to grow the business? They got to build a sales team, right? And then the people that they involve in building a sales team, if the business is going to go beyond that, what do those people need to do? Build a sales team. And those people need to build a sales team, and those people need to build a sales team. So here's some lessons for you. All this is, you're going to have all of this. Don't take any notes. Just stay with me. There are 4 ways to grow a network marketing company. Let's say you start from ground zero. There's just 2 of you. There's nobody else. You got some product. There are 4 ways to grow it, and there's only 4 ways to grow it. One of the ways that you can grow it is to get everybody you've already got. So if there's 4 of you, get the 4. If there's 400, get the 400. If there's 4,000, get the 4,000. If there's 400,000, get the 400,000. If there's 4 million, get the 4 million. Buy more product. In other words, you as the company sell more product to the people that are already in your database. So that would be like, let's say you're my sales organization. So one of the ways I can increase sales is to get you to buy more product. Buy more product. I know you're already buying $100 a month worth of product, or 150 or 200 or 300, but I want you to buy even more product. So that's where I spend my time and energy and promotional efforts. I want you to think about where you spend your time and energy and promotional efforts, getting your existing sales team to buy even more product. And you know what, folks? That's the #1 way network marketing companies that have been around a long time look to grow, is to get everybody to buy more product. The problem is that's a linear growth strategy. Like if you're already buying $150 a month worth of product, I'm not going to get you to buy $1,000 a month worth of product. Maybe some. How many of you buy $1,000 a month worth of product? There's a few, right? Jimmy and I probably buy 1,000, maybe. Jimmy probably 2,000. She didn't tell me about the other 1,000, maybe. But we buy a lot of product. Some of you may buy a lot of product, but if you look at your total team, if you look at the average, it's probably somewhere around 125, maybe $150 a month worth of product. Getting that to 1,000, never going to happen. Linear growth strategy. Make sense? Second way how do we get more customers? So if you spend a lot of time focused on yourself, getting more customers yourself, just a customer, that's also a linear growth strategy. Because you're never going to 10 or 20 or 50 or 100 times your sales with just customers. Now, there is obviously a customer strategy because that's how Young Living has primarily grown, is people just getting more customers. But stay with me and you'll see how this ties together. So the fourth way to increase sales in a network marketing company is retention. This is actually why Kimmy and I joined Young Living. I'll tell you a quick story about how that happened. You guys ever hear of a guy named Adam Green? Name ring a bell? This young whippersnapper from Red Deer, Alberta. Red Deer! So Adam and I, you've heard that story about the people that are drowning from the flood and they're on the roof, and a rowboat comes by and says, hey, you want to ride? No, we're all right, no rowboat. And, like the big Coast Guard boat comes by, you want to ride out of here? No, we're all right. And they say, the Lord will save us. We're praying for the Lord. And, then a helicopter comes. You want to ride out of here in the helicopter? No, Lord will take care of us. And then, of course, they drown. And they go up to wherever they go up. Whoever's up there says, I sent you a rowboat. I sent you a great big old lifeboat. I sent you a helicopter. Kind of missed the clues. So Adam and I are at a huge event somewhere in Las Vegas. I think it was GoPro or something. And we're walking to a restaurant at the end of the event. And he was a client of mine. I didn't know hardly anything about Young Living. I own my own company. He was just a client, and we were a GoPro. And we're walking down the hallway to the restaurant after the event, and we meet John Hammock. John Hammock, how many of you know John Hammock? Nobody, which doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. I know John Hammock. Adam now knows John Hammock. So I've known John Hammock for like 30 years. He's been in network marketing. He's been in a bunch of different companies. He's a consultant. He's kind of a big deal in the network marketing world in some circles. And so I hadn't seen John in forever. He comes down the hallway and, hey, John, how you doing? I give him a big hug and I introduced him. I said, here, this is Adam Green here. He's a big deal in Young Living. And this is exactly what happened. Now, this was the rowboat. Okay? This was like 5 years ago. So John says to Adam, as soon as I introduce him to Adam and say he's with Young Living, John says, you got any abundance? I don't know what abundance is. I'm thinking John is asking Adam if he's making big money yet. Adam gets this kind of sheepish grin on his face and he says, he pulls out this little satchel, like he's a drug dealer or something. He says, I have my own personal stash here. John Hammock says, how much for whatever's left? This is verbatim. Now at the time, I think right now it's 43 years, but at the time I was probably 37 years full time in this profession. I started when I was 22 in 1977. I had never in 37 years ever heard anything remotely like this conversation in network marketing. I had never heard a competitor ask a competitor, do you have this product? And then Adam proceeded to sell him his dregs for $20. Not before he put some on. Put some on. Well, this is relevant for the rest of the story. He puts some on, and then he sells John Hammock the rest of his bottle for $20. And I'm like, I don't know. Robo. So we go And the whole time during lunch, there's two ladies sitting right over here. They're like 20 feet away at a table. And they keep looking over at me. Now, most of you don't know me, but like if you get outside of Young Living and you get in the network marketing community, I'm actually a fairly big deal. Oh, shit. I'm just pulling your leg. I just said that for Kimmy because she gives me a lot of grief. So I'm sitting at the table. These two gals over there, they keep looking over. And I think we were at GoPro. So there's like 10,000 people there from 100, 200 different network marketing companies, 200 countries around the world. And I just know what's going on. I bet you $1,000 what's going on is they're deciding whether or not they're going to interrupt my lunch, come over and see if they can get a picture with me, or maybe, get a book or something, right? That's what I'm thinking for the whole lunch. So finally, they get done with lunch before we get done with lunch, and here they come. All right, this is what I get paid the big bucks for, taking pictures. They come over to the table and they say, who's wearing what? I quit wearing Brut when I bought a bottle like this big when I was like in the 9th grade, and I slathered it all over me one night for a date, and that didn't work out too good. And Brian Carruthers, he says, Kimmy doesn't wear perfume or anything, and Melissa was. Everybody's like, and Adam's sitting over there, he's like got like 5 canaries in his mouth and all the feathers just. That was the Coast Guard boat. Went right over my head. Some other day I'll tell you, well, actually, fast forward about 3 or 4 years, and Kimmy and I are looking at Adam's back office because we're seriously trying to figure out why Young Living is so successful. And we're doing okay, but we're not doing anywhere near what Young Living's doing. And we found this number in Adam's back office, 42. And he says it was 40. I say it was 46, but for this presentation, it's 42. And I asked Adam, I said, how do you calculate that number? And he said, oh, well, that's the percentage of people that have ever joined my team, which is like 8, 7, I don't know how many years, but 6, 7 years at that time, that are on ER. I said, what's ER? He said, well, auto ship, $100 auto ship. In the last 7 years, that's the percentage of people that have ever joined your team that are on $100 a month auto ship? He said, yeah. You know what I said? I don't know if I can say it in here. Do you have any farmers or ranchers in here? Yeah. I said, Adam, your answer is the equivalent to cows and bulls defecating in the field. That's what you just told me. You just told me cow pooped it. The cow pooped it its pants is what you just told me. I don't know why I can't say the other word, but anyway, so when you get the notes and you study this graph, here's what I did with that information. I took my company, which was 10 years old and had a retention rate of 8%, and I took Adam's number of 42%, and I made them side-by-side companies, extrapolated out, a big math word, extrapolated out over the next 7 years. So a company, they're both recruiting the same number of people. They're both like, they start at the same place, but one's retaining 8% and one's retaining 42%. One of them grows from $100,000 to $300,000 a month. The other one grows from $100 to $11 million a month. Retention. So retention is mostly this. There's some things you can do about it, like educate people. But the number one thing around retention is the product's performance. What it actually does in and around the human body and the human experience has to be more valuable than what you charge for it. And it has to be a better performance for the same money can get somewhere else. It's called the value proposition, right? If your value proposition is strong enough, people will get on your products and they'll stay on your products. Retention. Young Living has that at a higher level. I've never seen a company that has 40% retention anywhere in the industry. There's nowhere. There's 3,000 network marketing companies in the world. There's at least at one given time 700 that are based in the United States. Just based here. I don't know any company that has 40%. Nowhere. Anywhere. Which is why we joined Young Living. Okay, so here's some things that I've learned from people that have done really well in network marketing and some things that I've learned from some of you that have done really well in network marketing. Number one is the way you make it is to make it about them. You heard that before? Something like that. You've probably heard that 10, 20, 30, 40 different ways. The way you and I make it is to make it about them. Not make it about us, but make it about them. You know, Zig Ziglar maybe said it best. You get everything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And what a beautiful system that we have in that you can be on a scale of 1 to 10, you can be like a 2 or a 3. You can be a 4. You can be like me, would be like a 1.9 actually. I was probably a 1.9. Isn't that the GPA you get if you get a D minus? I graduated high school with a D minus average, and I cheated on Stan Callen's civics final to get out. I was a 1.9 GPA. You can be a 1.9 in network marketing, and guess who you can enroll? A 10. Well, back to you just enroll at 3. You just elevated yourself, right? You doubled yourself. But you can enroll a 5, a 6, a 7, 8, 9, or a 10. That's actually how I made it in network marketing. I just bumbled around, bailed around, until I just bumped into somebody, and he asked me, is there any money in this? And I said, oh my God, blow your mind how much money there is in this. You have any idea how much money I was making? And in this 2.5 years full time, driving a borrowed car, you got any idea? So I just told him to blow his mind. I was telling the truth. He believed me. By the way, when it comes to telling stories, I have kind of a pet peeve about Young Living. I don't love everything about Young Living. I think there's some things we could do a little bit better. Here's one of them. When it comes to telling your story, if you're going to tell your story, which I highly encourage you to do you want people to believe your story? Just consider that. Do you want people to believe your story when you tell them your story? Are you sure? Are you sure it's not more important to them that you dazzle and amaze them with your story? Just ask that question. Do I want them to believe me? Then tell a believable story. So here's a project that I embarked on that I'm already learning amazing things from. That I'm going to give you some of the things I've learned in the rest of the presentation. But this is Road to Diamond. Sounds like Diamond Bound, doesn't it? And I didn't realize that until after I created it, but I've been talking to Jordan quite a bit, so it wouldn't surprise me at all if Diamond Bound just sort of got Road to Diamond. So what is Road to Diamond? No, it's not an event. Road to Diamond is a website with 30 to 45-minute interviews where I'm interviewing this is what I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing in Young Living. I'm going to interview every diamond and above in the world that ever advances to that position. Every one of them. How many of you are diamonds and above? Okay, you need to see Kim, my assistant, and get yourself on the schedule so I can interview. How many of you have I interviewed? You. All right, good. So here's what Road to Diamond is about. Yeah, Road to Diamond it's totally free, just a website you can go to and you can study by by this time next year, there'll be 150, 200 interviews of diamonds and above in Young Living. You can look at their stats because all of their stats are going to be consistent. Like there's clues in the stats. One of the stats is almost everybody, not everybody, but almost everybody, not only in Young Living, but outside of Young Living, because I've interviewed 110 people outside of Young Living in my hero calls that are making between $25,000 and $400,000 a month, fifth year and beyond. Those are the hero calls. And 95% of them personally enrolled 80 to 100 people in a 2-year period. That's a clue, right? That's a clue. So what you see in Road to Diamond are all these stats so that you can look at the stats and you can get a roadmap. If I want to get to Diamond, what do I probably have to do? Because one of the things that we do as humans is our upline, somebody tells us, well, this is what you need to do. And we tend to delude ourselves with, well, I can probably get away with not doing that, right? And so Road to Diamond is just going to be a platform of belief building. Amazing, amazing stories and stats. There's one of them right there. Woo! Hats off to Jordan for this event. This is the second largest event that's happens anywhere in the world in Young Living, next to the National Convention. Second largest event in the world. And you know how Jordan started this event? Some of you know because you were here. She just decided to spend 3 days with her team. Teach them how to do what she was doing. I think there was 300 people at the first Diamond Bound. 300. Now there's 5,000. That's leadership. We'll talk about that. So here's some of the clues, actually giant footprints that people that have done what everybody in here wants to do. These are the footprints left in the sand. Want to do this? Here's some things. Number one is motivation. Now, I could spend a few hours, I could spend actually 3 days just talking to you about motivation, but I'm just going to suffice to tell you this. Like, here's a place you can go to study on motivation. I think it's on YouTube, probably on my website, but YouTube's probably easier for you. And it's called The Secret Formula. Anybody ever heard that? 7 of you. Excellent. Penetration into the marketplace. Okay. So it's called The Secret Formula, and it kind of works like this. So people that go to Diamond and beyond, they get themselves and they keep themselves motivated to do the work. Because there's work to do, right? There's people you got to talk to. There's classes you got to hold. There's presentations. There's training. There's onboarding. There's coaching. There's babysitting. You got to spend a lot of time putting Humpty Dumpty back together again, right? Every time one of your people falls off the wall, there's work to do. You can't do that work in the fetal position on your couch, sucking your thumb, feeling sorry for yourself. You can't do it. You got to get yourself and keep yourself on fire about what you're doing. And the number one thing you and I need to do as network marketers is we need to spread the word. We need to talk to people. We need to ask people questions. We need to connect. We need to invite them to take a look. And that's the number one thing we don't do. So if you go find The Secret Formula and study it, it'll teach you a hack on how you can get yourself and keep yourself on fire every day about doing the work. The number one thing that people do that go to Diamond Beyond is they master motivation. They don't spend any time on their couch. They don't spend any time whining to their sideline or their upline or their team. They are the source. And if you want to go to Diamond Beyond, you got to learn how to be the source. Does that make sense? So once you are the source, once you are on fire, what that will allow you to do is connect with people, because that's the first step in network marketing. So network marketing is just purely marketing to your network. But the problem is we've already talked to everyone in our network, right? Pull out your phones. I know you're all dying to anyway. Anyway, pull out your phone. Some of you are deep into email. You're watching YouTube videos. Pull out your phone. Go to your contacts. Go to the C's in your contacts. All the way to the bottom. At the very bottom of all the names is a number. How many of you have found the number? Yell out some numbers. Yeah, that was a bad idea. How many of you have 1,000 or more in your phone? 2,000 or more? 500 or more? 100 or more? How many of you didn't want to do the exercise? You got to pee. All right, well, here's the point. You can do it later. You can teach your teams to do it. So, people, we kind of embed ourselves in the story. I've already talked to everyone I know. I've talked to everyone. Whenever somebody tells me that, I say, give me your phone. I go to contacts. I go to Z's. I flip all the way to the bottom. You got 793 people on your phone. You talk to all these people? You know what they say? Yes. Oh, really? Well, let's go right here to the W's, right? If you talk to Mary Wilson, well, no, not Mary. Well, I haven't talked to Mary in years. She's in your phone. Does she know who you are? Yeah. Network marketing, right? And that's your network. People that are in your phone. If they're in your phone, they know you. You know them. That's your network. That's who you're supposed to be talking to. If you're on fire, motivation, you'll be talking to them, right? But if you only got 700 people in your phone or 300 people in your phone, I mean, there's all kinds of people that we can be meeting every day, right? We can be connecting and adding people to our phone. That's the connecting part of the business. And you see this family here? They're hitchhiking. And so here's the nugget that I want to give you about, I think Jordan talked about it, I'm sure Mary talks about it. Mary ought to be the chief training officer of Young Living, by the way. What do you think? I mean, this woman knows network marketing. It's in her DNA. She knows it from the ground up. Do you know how many owners of network marketing companies actually built the sales team that is the company? Like if there's 700 network marketing companies based in the United States, do you know how many of them the owner built the company and is still the owner and is still running the company out of 700? I don't know. Well, let's just say there's 3. I don't know who the other 2 are. But I can tell you this, 20 years ago, if I was at a DSA event and I was in a CEO roundtable meeting, 95% of the people in the event would have built their company. Like they were network marketers. If I go to a CEO event today at the DSA roundtable, 95% of the people in the meeting, they've never done network marketing. They've never built a team. This woman built this company. She's sitting up here teaching you how to do it. I don't know. Anyway, the nugget here in connecting is, see this family hitchhiking? When you connect with people, don't make this mistake. Don't turn your fire, your motivation, into mowing people down on the freeway. Because here's what most of us do. Here's this family, this nice family, and they're walking towards the sunrise, right? And what that's an illustration of is they're walking toward their dreams and ambition, right? They're looking for a better life. They got the car repossessed. They don't have any food. They're going to be walking down to the nearest gas station, whatever. So we drive by them. They're the prospect. We're the on-fire network marketer, Young Living person. We drive by them at 70 miles an hour, and we open the door. Want to ride? You should get in with me. You should join my team. You should go where I'm going. I'm sorry I just knocked you bloody into the ditch, but I'm so excited. Third thing people that build empires do is educate. You guys are awesome educators. Awesome educators. But I want to give you a distinction about education. How many of you have seen Stink? builds her business with stink. Just pretty much it. Just, hey, watch this. And then it's over. You watch this. Get people to watch stink, what they're more likely to do than to do something Young Living, because it's generic, right? They don't feel like, okay, you're selling me something, just watch this documentary. But if you watch stink, what do you have to do after stink? You got to clean out your house, right? Wow, one of the things that stuck in my head, there's 111,000 chemicals that are used in everyday home care products, personal care products in the United States that are banned in Europe. 111,000. Oh my gosh, you enjoyed this conversation last night? So here's the nugget in educate. Profound education. Keyword profound. Profound education instantly and permanently changes people's values and behavior. Profound education. I'll give you an example. 1983. I read a book. My chiropractor gave me a book called Sugar Blues. I don't even think you can buy it anymore. A little paperback book. And he said, you got to read this book. So I read this book, and the book was kind of stink. Basically, it exposed the sugar industry for who it is, for what it is. Poison peddlers, right? So I grew up eating sugar. My mom used to serve us fruit, which is what? Sugar, coated with sugar. And so pancakes for breakfast, which is pretty much sugar, coated with sugar. Actually, she would put syrup on top of the pancakes, and then she'd put powdered sugar on top of the syrup. That's how I grew up. I read this book, Sugar Blues, in 1983, so I don't know, I was like only 26 years old. I hate to say the word never. Kimmy will say, well, you last week, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure that I've never consciously taken a teaspoon of sugar and put it on anything in the last 40 years. Now, does that mean I'm sugar-free? Oh, my God, no, because it's in everything, right? I thought I was eating mashed potatoes the other day and full of sugar, right? So, but just think about that concept. If you'll incorporate profound education into your education, and the best profound education I've ever found is generic, like documentaries or books or stuff where people can absorb it and feel like it's unbiased input, and it's so profound and so well documented that it's undeniable, they change their behavior forever. Leadership. People that build big empires, they're just leaders. So the example I want you to just leave you with is, think about Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, right? So you can be the cowardly lion if you want. That's my favorite premise on back order. I can't get in the website. I had a class and nobody showed up. I can't get anybody to do this. You can be the cowardly lion if you want. You won't build anything. You can be the Tin Man, right? No heart, like you're just in it for the money. You can be the Tin Man. You can be the Scarecrow. Like, oh, I don't want to go. What if they say no? Right? Or you could be Dorothy. What did Dorothy do? She listened. She loved them where they were. And she said, come on. Let's go. Let's do it. Wicked witch. Let's go anyway. Let's go to the Emerald City. Let's go see the wizard and get you all fixed up. Right? So who do you need to be if you want to build an empire? Dorothy. Right? Don't be no cowardly lion. Don't be the Scarecrow. Don't be the Tin Man. Don't be whining. Because what your upline ought to do is just serve cheese at every event. Want some cheese with that wine? Hey, I get it. I get how easy it is to whine, and I get how much stuff there heard this phrase? Leaders are born at events. You heard that? And it's true. And here's why. How many of you, before you like engaged in Young Living, if I would have went to you as your upline, or somebody, if I would have went to you and said, hey, what do you think about Young Living? Let's just say you're a customer. How many of you would have said, I'm just a customer? Well, have you thought about maybe sharing it with some people who are having the class? Oh no, I'm just a customer. How many? Come on, 95% of, well, this is a room of leaders, right? But you've heard that, right, of all your people? And most leaders in Young Living, before they were a leader, that's how they held themselves. Oh no, I'm just a customer. Oh no, I'm not going to talk to my friends about this. I love the product, right? But I'm, right? And then they go to an event, like the right event, which might be the 10th event, but they go to an event, and all of a sudden this happens. Oh, well, I had no idea. I had no idea. Oh, I'm going to do this, right? Instant transformation. So here's the point about events and leadership, they're tied together. My theory is that everybody on your team, every customer, every member, every inactive customer, every used-to-be customer, every whiner on your team is a leader in some domain in their life. Like if you go into their life and track them, like you look in their community service, you look in their church, you look in their school, their kids' school, you look maybe just in their marriage. Maybe it's in their family. Maybe it's in their full-time career. Maybe it's in sports. Maybe it's in some passion they have. You will find everybody on your team is a leader somewhere. Why? Because they see that domain as a place that they can lead. And the only reason they're not leading in Young Living is they don't see it that way. They just see themselves as, I'm just a customer. I don't do that whole, Jordan had that. Jordan, Royal Crown Diamond, double Royal Crown Diamond, never lost the rank. Started out as? What converts to hope? Let's do this. Events. Now, event can be reading a book, it can be watching a video, it can be a Zoom call, it can be a one-on-one conversation, or it can be putting people in an event like this. So leverage events. Think. Boy, if I have, maybe you got 500 people on your team, you got 100 people on your team. What you want to do to build your team is you want to convert people to leaders. That's how you get exponential growth. Every time you convert somebody, inspire somebody to leadership, they create a whole new vision of who they are, what Young Living is, what they're going to do, and they go do something. They go build something. It's your biggest lever. Pull it. So you think, how do I get leaders? Well, I need to recruit more people and find the leaders. Well, sure, you need to do that, and you need to just constantly be offering everybody on your team at every level, every place they are, to come to another event. Just green eggs and ham them. Say, hey, we got a Zoom call next week, or we got a class next week. And they say, no. And so 2 or 3 weeks later, you say, well, how about get a box? Right? They say, oh, no. Busy. 3 weeks later, you say, well, how about with a box? No. I don't need money. How about a tree? Events. That's how you pop leaders like popcorn. You ever heard of station WIIFM? It's right here in Nashville. Famous country western FM station. WIIFM stands for What's in It for Me. That's the radio station that everybody listens to all the time. What's in it for me? The mistake we made in working with people is we go to people and we tell them what's in it for us. We tell them even why we're doing it. Even our story is what's in it for us, not what's in it for them. So if you want to move people, realize that they're listening to WIIFM. And before you start telling them all about you, what might you do? Ask them about them. And don't take notes. Listen. Be present. So when you ask somebody a question and they're giving you an answer, don't be thinking about the next question. Don't be thinking about the question you can ask them, the answer to which brings them closer to your team. That's manipulation. Just listen and be present. And when they're done answering your question, ask another question. And when they're done answering that, ask another question. I'll make you a promise, and some of you have practiced this with me, but I'll make you a promise if you just turn this into an art, that in 2 or 3 minutes, or 4 or 5 minutes, or 15 or 20 minutes, those people will tell you things they've never told their best friend, and they will tell you exactly why they want to become a Young Living customer, and exactly why they need to build a team in Young Living, if you let them. And it's not your reason. It's not your story. It's their story. And the only way you find out what it is to ask them and listen. Make sense? Another thing I learned from all these people. Once you're burned out, usually you're out. So success in network marketing is, let's say you're going to go on a 5, 6, 7-year run to Royal Crown Diamond. That's a marathon. The marathon is made up of a series of sprints. So the sprints might be a 10-day burst. It might be a 30-day run. It might be a 60-day run. It might be a 90-day run. You need to find your pace. Like your track star, some people do the 100-yard dash, right? Some people do the 100 meters. Some people do the 500 meters. Some people run cross country, right? They find, what's my sweet spot? Where can I run? How fast can I run? For me personally, I'm kind of a 60-day guy. I can do just about anything for 60 days. I can do radical, weird stuff for 10 days. But I'm not any good at doing stuff for a year. Right? I need to run, and then rest is kind of the appropriate word, but it's really run and then clean up your mess. Run and clean up your mess. So if you're listening, remember what Jordan was talking about last night about, getting out there and just really hustling and making it all happen, the grit, right? When you're out there churning and burning and creating goals and setting goals and moving your team and creating all this chaos and stuff, then you gotta rest and go back and say, oh, I forgot about you. I enrolled you last week, right? Or 2 months ago. Hey, are you all right? You want to see? Yeah, you gotta go clean up your mess sometimes. And sometimes you just gotta rest and reconnect with your own self and your family. So you gotta get your rhythm down of run versus rest. And I am an expert in this because I've been doing the marathon for 43 years full time. And Kimmy even asked me, she hears me on Zooms and conferences, how are you so excited about this 43 years later? I don't know. I just like it. So here's the interesting thing. I just threw this one in. I didn't learn this from anybody because I don't know anybody that makes 20 grand a month or 200 grand a month that actually keeps their stats. Maybe Colleen does, but Colleen keeps her stats. I've beaten it to her for the last 10 years. But I just want you to consider keeping your stats. What does that mean? It's just keeping track. You go into my notes, you get a PowerPoint. Just keep track of what you're doing. Keep track of how many people you're meeting and adding to your phone. Keep track of how many people you're inviting to take a look. Keep track of your presentations. Keep track of the enrollments. Why? It's free coaching. Y'all want free coaching? Free coaching? You want Brandon Barber for free? Brandon's like, huh? Brandon Barber for free. Keep your stats. Why? Because if Brandon or me ask you, let's say you say, oh, I want to become a diamond in the next 2 years. We may say, oh, why? What's that important to you? Blah, 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 blah. But at some point, we're going to ask you, well, where are you now? Right? What's your volume now? What's your rank now? How many to like triple your volume, right? So a question that we might ask you is, well, how many people have you personally enrolled? And here's what most people say, believe it or not, I don't know, or a lot. So I can ask almost anybody in Young Living, how many people have you personally enrolled with PSK on ER in 2019 to date? And the answer will fall sort of in the category of quite a few. But if I actually had your stats, do you know how many quite a few would be? 9, which is not enough. That makes sense? So stats, they're not delusional. Stats, they're not vague. Stats don't lie. Stats are free coaching. Because stats tell you whether you're on track or not. Does that make sense? Stats. More stats. And the last one is personal growth. Then I'll wrap up. So here's what I say about personal growth. This is just my perception and experience of personal growth. We all have a level of personal growth. Kind of like our scale of 1 to 10, you know. I was like a 1.9, you may be a 5. You know, I know Kimmy was a 10, Jordan a 10. You know who's a 10? They get in Young Living, they go right to World Crown Diamond in 4, 5, 6, 7 years. They just sit right to the top. Those are people that in the realm of personal development and leadership and self-confidence and vision. They're a 10. That's all personal development. Personal development is really just the beliefs that we have about ourselves that empower us to do anything we want to do, serve anybody we want to serve, our beliefs about other people, our beliefs about the world that allow us to go do magnificent things in the world. What was Gary on a scale of 1 to 10? What is Mary on a scale of 1 to 10? What is Jared on a scale of 1 to 10? You know that guy's a lawyer and speaks 5 languages? Huh? Wow. So personal growth. So if you already know where you are. Here's how I can tell you where you are. People rise very quickly. Once they say, I want to build Young Living to this. You know, we have these ranks so we can like easily tell how much you've done, right? I want to build Young Living to platinum. Once you make that declaration, how fast you rise up before you stall out, that's your personal development quotient, right? So if you've been doing this 4 years and you're like, I'm going to be a diamond, I'm going to be a diamond, I'm going to be a diamond, and you're an executive, on a scale of 1 to 2, your 1 to 10, your personal development quotient, probably about a 2. That's okay. There's hope for you. You can be like me. Right? So it's okay to be a 2. It is okay. What's not okay is to be a 2 and not know it. And you kind of like, right? If you know it, you can do something about it. Now, what do you do about your personal development? You study, right? You study and you read and you listen and you avail yourself to people that can change your belief systems. And you realize, first of all, it is about me. Like I'm the one who has my foot stuck to the floor. These are the belief systems. These are the goals. I want to become a diamond. Diamond's over here. My foot's nailed to the floor. Some of you are like bleeding in the foot. You're like struggling, trying. I want it so bad. You're like ripping the bones and flesh out of your foot. Right? You're like the elephant that's like, you know, pulling against the chain. You got to change the foot. You got to change how you see yourself. And this is a place to invest. I'm just going to give you an example of an investment. And I'm not encouraging you to invest $10,000. This is just an example. But if you got $10,000 sitting in the bank, and you're like most people where you have it sitting, you're getting at best 1.5% interest on it. Right? So if you have $10,000 in the bank, and you're getting 1.5% interest, do you know how much money that's earning you a year? 1.5%? $150 a year. It's about $12 a month. The next time somebody offers you something for $200 or $300 at an event like this, it may cost you $500, just think about it. I got money over here making me $12 a month. And that's really what you're doing, is giving your money to somebody who's making $500 a month with your money, right? That'd be the bank. Or you can invest that money into you and turn that $10,000 into $100 a month. Just an income. Just think about how easy would it be for you to increase your income? So I'm going to tell you a story, and then we're out of here. I prefaced the story with saying the last thing that people that are successful in this business do is they don't let anybody drown their dreams. What they do with their dreams is they dance with them. Dancing is not always perfect, right? Sometimes you step on each other's feet. Sometimes your partner gets tired. But people that make it, they just embrace their dreams and they dance with them. And they don't let anybody drown their dreams. So I have a Gary Young story for you. I'm not really good at dates, but probably around 1990, I was living in Spokane, Washington. Guess who else was living in Spokane, Washington? Gary Young. And one day, the top distributor in my company came to me and he said, "Hey, I got this friend that's thinking about starting a network marketing company. Would you meet with him?" And I wouldn't have done it except Roland asked me to. I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll meet with him." So I said, "Well, I'll pick you up. We're going to go over to his house." So we go over to Gary's house, and there's Gary. And he doesn't look like a network marketer to me. He actually looked, oddly enough, like a combination between a farmer, cowboy, and a lumberjack. And as I recall, I could be wrong about this, let's start rumors, but as I recall, I think he was going through a divorce. It's not actually an opportune time to start a network marketing company. And so I talked to him for 3 hours in his home. Why do you want to do this? You ever done it before? What do you know about it? What are you going to sell? I remember it like it was yesterday. This little vial had a handwritten thing on a white label. And he said, I'm selling this. I said, what does that do? And he started telling me what it does. And I said, well, you can't say that. What an unbelievable story. Anyway, in 1990, I told Gary Young he should do this. I really did. And a tribute to that man's vision and his fortitude and his partnership with Mary, because he did it anyway. Just to keep it all in perspective, next time you think you know what you're talking about, or next time you're listening to somebody like me and you think, well, he really knows what he's talking about. I mean, we actually don't have a clue. I don't either. But thank you for listening to me and not taking notes for the last 45 minutes. So I want to send a message to Gary because I expect he's gone. Now you can do something. I'm going to forward this slide and I'm going to come back. So this is something you can do. You can take a picture of this slide, take a picture of that slide, and you go to richardbrook.com/DB, I guess. Yeah, go to richardbrook.com/diamondbound. That's what DB stands for. Diamondbound. I'm thinking DB, what is that? I don't know what that is. You'll get my whole PowerPoint and all of my notes, and you'll get a free video that I did for Summer Season Group, 30-minute rant and riff about why Young Living and why you. But before I let you go, I'd like for you to all stand up. Don't leave, just stand up. And let us send a message to Gary and Mary. Because remember, the theme of my presentation is, this is nothing more than Gary and Mary's personal sales organization. And the more you'll see Young Living that way, the more you'll see what there is for you to do and for us to do in the right context. Because there might be 1,000,005 of us right now. And how many of us do we need? 300 million people that understand the opportunity in network marketing and Young Living. So this is a set of affirmations that we can, at the top of our lungs, you only get one shot at it, and let him hear it. So I'll tell you what it is, and then I'll walk you through it. It's Gary and Mary did it. I can do it. We can do it. We're doing it. Done. Are you ready? At the top of your lungs. Number 1, 2, 3. Gary and Mary did it. I can do it. We can do it. We're doing it.